Sean, you've got a narrow advantage going into the second leg of the semi-final. What's your emotions going into it? Is it nerves, excitement, a bit of both?
Just more excitement than anything. Obviously we went down there to try and take a lead back, and we're lucky enough to do that. I thought we played all right on the night. I thought we had a lot of sort of good opportunities. On another night we could have scored maybe 3 or 4, but yeah, I think if someone said we're going to go in the second leg with a leader, would have sort of snapped your hand off, and yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to the second leg.
Is that the one disappointment, that you didn't come away with a bigger margin of victory?
Yeah, maybe. I think obviously they had a couple of chances as well. Obviously had a goal disallowed and stuff. So I think it was maybe a little bit of disappointment, but ultimately we know away game, it's always going to be tough. Semi-finals, never going to be an easy game. So I think any lead we're happy with, and yeah, especially at home with the crowd and what the sort of atmosphere and stuff's going to be like. I think everyone's just sort of buzzing to play, and going to make it as difficult as we can for them.
Kieran Trippier told us last week that you and Dan Burn had been telling him and all the lads just what these games do kind of mean. Can you just give us a little flavour of what you have been saying to the lads?
It's hard. I was just, me and Bernie, I was just sort of saying, just sort of talking about what the atmosphere will be like, and if we can get through sort of the buzz or the buzz that the city will have. I mean, it's hard because I'm playing a semi-final in quite a few years, so it's I think I was too young to sort of remember what it would be like. So I think even for me and Bernie, it's excitement as well, knowing that sort of what's on the other side, the prize of a final, which we haven't been to in a long time, and yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure the lads know how big a game it is, and like I think, like people have said, if you can get to a final with Newcastle, and you're going to be remembered for a long time. So it's just sort of telling that to the group and trying to make them realise what an opportunity we've got.
Yeah, you were born in 1997. Newcastle last final was 1999, so you would have been, what, 1, 2-year-old when that happened. Does that just kind of go to show what a massive opportunity this is when it really is a kind of once in a lifetime thing at the moment?
Yeah, it is, especially with obviously the trajectory the club's probably going to go on. We're hopefully going to reach many finals and going to have lots of big games, but I think to hopefully be the first team to sort of get there will be amazing. I think it's sort of what the groups deserve this year. I think we've played really well. We're such a, like I said before, such a close group, and but we know it's not going to be given to. We know it's going to be a really difficult game. So yeah, I think it's one everyone's looking forward to, and like I said, we know what's on the other side. So hopefully we can get there.
You mentioned there that Southampton had chances in the first leg as well. Nick Pope made brilliant saves. I know you're very close to Nick. Bruno Guimaraes called him the best goalkeeper in the world. What would be your take on his performance and just kind of how good he is playing at the moment?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I mean, a lot of it probably is down to me taking him under my wing and helping him settle in as quickly as possible. But nah, he's been unbelievable. So the first thing that hit me when he walked through the door was just his size and his stature, and he's a man mountain really. And even in training, you look at the goal and there's not really like anywhere to shoot to score. So we are thankful that he's in our goal and not in another team. So he's been amazing. But I think he's a great lad around the squad. Everyone loves him. He's not had loads to do, but when he has had stuff to do, he's sort of got people out and making mistakes, which would maybe look worse. But now he's been amazing. He's such a good lad, and yeah, everyone's really happy to have him. And I think when someone's such a nice person as well, it makes a success to have, and it makes you even happier for them. And
he came to the club as an England international and a very established Premier League goalkeeper, but has he perhaps been even better than you actually thought he was?
Yeah, he is. I think it's obviously Martin was here before, and now Martin was a top goalkeeper, and then you bring Pope in and you see sort of two, I'd say, world-class keepers going head-to-head for a position, and even in pre-season the standards that they were setting were unbelievable, and yeah, he's like I said, but since Pope's came in, he's been amazing, and probably, it sounds a bit, well, who might I say, but being in that Burnley team probably didn't get the amount of credit that he was probably deserved, and he's came here and maybe a bit of a bigger platform, the team's doing a little bit better, so I think he's probably getting the just deserves of what his performances have been doing.
From one cat to another, you've got a new addition in your family. Can you tell us a little bit about Tommy Longstaff?
Tommy the cat, yeah. Tommy the cat is a new cat. I think somehow on a Thursday night ended up getting them. Wasn't that sure at the start, but now I love them to bits, and I think it's actually helped a lot of my, like, it sounds so shooter, but going home and see sort of not going home to, you're going home to see the cat, and like, you're sort of excited to go home and see him and see what he's been doing. Yeah, he's been a bit naughty this week. We've found out he's been weighing on the spare bed, which isn't great. Like, so no, that wasn't great. But I send Bernie and send Porty pictures of him all the time, and I think they get a bit annoyed and just think, what am I doing? But he's now loving to bits, to be fair. And like I said, sort of when we have away games now, I'm missing him and that when we're away and stuff. So he's been a great addition to my house, and yeah, hopefully brings a good luck. I don't think we've lost since we've got him, so hopefully keeps going.
Had you always been a cat person before that then?
Nah, never. Never had been. Had a dog with my mum, had a few guinea pigs and that, but never had a cat. My nan and grandpa had 2 cats, and he's a bit like one of their old cats. He's a bit, one of their old cats was a bit vicious, but he's not as bad. But no, it was never a cat person, but I love him a bit, to be fair, and happy to have him.
And as you say, brought you good luck. Not a black cat or anything like that, is it?
It is a black cat, to be fair. I'm not sure what all the superstition things are, although he's not helped me finishing. Like, you keep kicking it over the bar since I've got him, so I have to sort that out. But no, he's been good luck so far.
In terms of your own performances, Sean, I mean, you must have seen Alan Shearer kind of speaking very highly of you a couple of weeks ago. What does that kind of stuff mean to you when you hear and see that?
Yeah, it's really special. Obviously someone I've looked up to since I was a young lad, and I think one of the best bits about him, he's always a phone call or a text away. Even with the little things like the finishing, sort of spoke to him a little bit and trying to get a few tips from him and stuff, and there's no one to get more tips or to get better tips from. There's no one with a better goal scoring record, so I think for him to be available to me and the other players is really special. And yeah, it's like I said, whenever you get praise from legends of the game, the best player ever to play for Newcastle, it's always nice. So just trying to strive to get better every day, and hopefully just keep putting in good performances.
How does that work then? How does that come about where you're in a position where Alan Shearer is just a text away, a phone call away? Because it's probably something that most people watching this, obviously, it's not something most people.
It's very surreal to me as well. Yeah, just I think we play golf at the same club, so seeing him around, and then I think it's close with my uncle, I think it was, and then just through that really get people's sort of numbers and stuff, and I think it was from when I first broke through really. But now, like I said, to have him there for me and the squad is a great bonus, and like I said, to try and use people around you as much as possible to help you get better, I think is only a positive. So that's still really surreal to me as well, to be fair.
And what advice has he given to you about, in front of goal and stuff like that? Because I suppose if you've been honest, it's maybe the one thing missing from your game at the moment. Yeah,
I think it is. I think it's probably a lot more simple than what people would think. But yeah, so I'm just trying to sort of implement it. Obviously, just main things are trying to hit the target. You sort of sometimes think you have to try and reinvent the wheel and sort of put it exactly in the top corner, exactly in a certain spot. But probably 9 times out of 10 you don't have to do that. And just to hear from him, that, and obviously working with the staff and stuff every day to get better at it as well. So I think it's something that it's funny because growing up it was always I'd say a strength was the finishing ability, so it's not something I'm worried about. I think everyone misses chances, everyone sort of misses. You look at the best players in the world, they do as well. So I think for me it's not something I'm really worried about. I know the goal's hopefully just around the corner, but ultimately as long as we're winning and I'm putting in good performances, then I'm not really too bothered about that.
And of course, Alan Shearer, probably the biggest legend that Newcastle United's had, and yet he didn't win anything with Newcastle, and you guys have the opportunity to do that. Just how special a feeling is that, to know that you really are on the cusp of doing something that even he didn't do? Yeah,
it's really special. I think the group we've got's a great group, so together, so everyone loves each other. So I think the fact we know what's on the other side of the second leg, obviously we know it's a cup final could possibly be there. I think when you look at where we were maybe a year ago to today, it's something we don't take for granted. We know how quickly football can change, and yeah, I don't really think we're looking past the semi-final though, to be honest. We know it's going to be a really tough game. Southampton are really good side. Obviously went through the game and stuff, and there's things we can definitely improve on, which is good for us as well. So we know that it's going to be a tough game, and like I said before, it's could be such a special occasion, something that the fans haven't had in such a long time. So we're just trying to do it for them, really.
The closeness of the group, you've mentioned it a couple of times there, sending videos to Dan and Nick Pope and eating banana bread with Nick Pope, and everybody really does seem very close-knit. Is it the tightest knit squad that you've been a part of?
Yeah, by a mile, which is funny because it's a lot of the same lads, so it's probably credit to the staff that they've been able to bring everyone sort of together. I think obviously bringing in the new lads have brought in have obviously helped to that, and obviously Bernie being a massive part of it, Tripp's been a massive part of it. They've done a great job of it's even little things like eating, everyone sort of eating together. It's so weird because it's something that's probably you'd think is so normal, but maybe it hasn't been in the past, and everyone's on the same page, working for the same goal, which is only going to help the team. And yeah, it's really exciting. Like I said before, it's something that none of us take for granted coming in. Even driving in today, sort of had a couple of days off, and I think everyone's buzzing to get back in. So now everyone sort of does really love each other, and I think we're not afraid to say that. And you can see that on the pitch when we're fighting for each other. And I think loads of the players will have probably said it before, but it is such a great group. And like I said, you never know sort of when football can end. We lost Woodsy the other day, and he was a big part of it. And the group was a bit down, not down, but the group was a bit gutted when he left because we knew how important he was. But yeah, we just love being around each other, and we don't take any day for granted.
Just finally, Sean, you mentioned the players fighting for each other. On Tuesday, you'll have 50-odd thousand fans fighting for you as well. What do you need from them to help you get over the line on Tuesday?
I think it's just more the same. I think obviously just going off the cup games, especially the Leicester game, the atmosphere was unbelievable. I thought we played really well that night, and probably should have. Well, I should have probably scored a few more, but I thought we played really well, and they helped me get over the line. I think when you came out and you seen all the scarves and stuff, it was really amazing, and made us quite emotional, really. And you sort of look around and you see your family in the stands, and obviously family in other parts of the stadium and stuff, and it's just really, really special to sort of see how far the clubs came, and for me to be from around here and playing on these big nights is so special to me. And yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to Tuesday. And like I said, just the fans, just more the same, really. Just bring the scarves, make as much noise as possible, and make it as difficult as we can for Southampton. And hopefully if they're a bit off the pitch, we do our bit on the pitch, and hopefully it'll be a great night.